Starlink for their purposes, and also to help bring the residents of Malden internet service while they rebuild their community. Now, Richard Hall, the head of Washington State's Military Department IT division, was quoted saying he's never set up any tactical satellite equipment that has been so quick to set up and anywhere near as reliable. Malden is located about 35 miles south of Spokane, Washington, and it falls within the northern latitudes of the planet, an area that our satellites currently service. Now, the way that emergency responders deployed Starlink is the way, and in fact representative of how Starlink works best in remote and rural areas where internet connectivity is limited or unavailable. Our Starlink network is still in its early stages, but as the network grows, the coverage will also continue to grow. And we're continuing to target a public beta opportunity before the end of the year. So we'll share more information as we get closer to that. If you're interested in the updates when that time comes, head on over to starlink.com and sign up for updates. So about just under 4 minutes to go until liftoff. Falcon 9 moving into the final stages of countdown. At this point, the first and second stages are nearly fully loaded with RP1 fuel and liquid oxygen as our oxidizer. The super chilled liquid oxygen is actually what's creating those white clouds that you're seeing on the second stage there. That's from the liquid oxygen. We have a little bit of venting happening there, so as we continue to top up those tanks. And when that comes into contact with the moist, warmer ambient air of Florida, it causes water vapor to condense and actually literally form clouds. So coming up here, we expect to have prop loading complete, T-minus 3 minutes on the first stage, second stage shortly after at T-minus 2 minutes. Once we get to T-minus 60 seconds, Falcon 9 will transition into startup. That's where the rocket's autonomous internal flight computers will take over the launch countdown all the way through the rest of the mission. And then shortly after that, at about T-minus 45 seconds, the launch director will give a go, no-go poll for launch. Excuse me, his go for launch. So far, Starlink payload continuing to look healthy. Falcon 9 team is not tracking any issues. Weather also continuing to look good, and the range is green for launch. Just passed through T-minus 2 minutes.
Stage 2 LOX load complete.
There's call out for LOX load complete, so we're finished loading propellants onto the launch vehicle, first and second stages. We'll expect to see some venting from the transporter erector, that truss structure next to the rocket. That is just to clear out the lines, so any liquid oxygen in those lines being vented out, and then again forming clouds with the moist Florida atmosphere. And then coming up in about 20 seconds, expect to see Falcon 9 go into startup. We'll listen for the launch director's go. And again, this is pad 39A, so that black structure next to it, not too long ago had astronauts in it. No people on the pad, of course, today.
LDs go for launch.
So with that, all systems go for launch. Launch team is go for launch. Why don't we listen in to terminal count for Falcon 9 liftoff.
T-minus 30 seconds.
So it looks like we had the clock stop at T-minus 18 seconds. We're going to check in with the launch team, see what we can learn from this. Again, during this portion of the mission, Falcon 9 is fully autonomous and it's monitoring the health of a number of its systems. So this could be completely normal. But we're going to check in with the teams. And,
this is LD on countdown. We've had an abort to a out-of-family ground sensor reading.
So just heard over the nets that we aborted on an out-of-family ground sensor reading. So a number of ground sensors in the pad area that we use to monitor our ground systems, make sure everything is healthy before launch. I'm going to continue to listen into the nets, see if we can learn any more about today's abort.